If you've ever used a dating app, you've probably had at least one bad experience. But have you ever wondered, has anyone actually been murdered because of one? Well, let me tell you about Elliot. Elliot was just a regular guy, a goofy, fun-loving guy. He worked at a concrete company and everyone liked him. His coworkers, his customers, he was that guy everyone wanted to be around. And for a while, life was good. Elliot was also married. But as time passed, things with his wife started falling apart. The little disagreements turned into full-blown arguments, and soon they were fighting all the time. It was wearing him down. His mental health took a hit. He was anxious, distracted, and just not himself. His wife noticed and even suggested he get help, but he didn't. Nothing changed. Eventually, they separated. And Elliot? He was devastated. Heartbroken, he spiraled into depression. His friends and coworkers barely recognized him. He used to be the fun guy at work, but now? Now he was just miserable. And worse? His thoughts started turning dark. Really dark. He became obsessed with violent thoughts, specifically about hurting women. And he didn't just keep them to himself. He started talking about them at work, out loud, in front of people. As you can imagine, that didn't go over well. His coworkers were uncomfortable and they told him, "Dude, you need to chill." But it only got worse. One day, he got into an altercation with a female coworker. That was the final straw. Elliot got fired. Now, he was not only depressed but also angry. Angry at his ex, at women, at the world. And little by little, he pushed everyone away. His friends, his family. He isolated himself. Then one day, while scrolling through Instagram, he saw someone he used to know, Aurora. They had worked together as teenagers, and Elliot had always thought she was fine. So he slid into her DMs. They started chatting. Eventually, he asked if she wanted to hang out. "Sorry, I already have plans," she said. A few days later, he tried again. "Want to hang?" Again, she told him no. The truth was, Aurora wasn't into him. She was just trying to let him down easy. But Elliot didn't get the hint. Maybe he thought she was playing hard to get. Who knows? But he kept messaging her, over and over, and it was creeping her out. Eventually, she ghosted him, completely stopped responding. 2 weeks later, "Hey, are you doing anything tomorrow night?" No response. 2 months later, "Hey, what's up?" Still nothing. Another month later, "Hey, how are you?" Nothing. At this point, Elliot was frustrated. Frustrated with Aurora. Frustrated with every woman who had rejected him. And one night, something in him snapped. Someone had to pay. He picked up his phone, opened Tinder, and started swiping. He didn't care who, just someone, anyone. And then, he matched with Ashlyn. Ashlyn was 25, worked with kids with special needs, and was just a genuinely good person. They started chatting, hit it off, and made plans to meet up the next night. Elliot picked her up from her house, and they went to a local bar. They spent 4 hours there, talking, drinking, and getting to know each other. Ashlyn was feeling him. He was feeling her. So when he invited her back to his place to chill, she said, "All right." Back at his place, they put on a movie. One thing led to another, and they hooked up. Eventually, they both fell asleep. It seemed like the date had gone well. Maybe, for a moment, Elliot even believed that not all women were out to hurt him. Until around 3 a.m., Elliot woke up. He looked over at Ashlyn, watching her sleep peacefully. And then, he snapped. Suddenly, he reached over, wrapped his hands around her throat, and started squeezing. She woke up in a panic, struggling, fighting back. But he was too strong. She hit him, scratched him, did everything she could to break free, but he wouldn't let go. Finally, he released her. But before she could even process what had just happened, he ran to the kitchen. And when he came back, he had a knife. Without hesitation, he started stabbing her, over and over, 10 times. As she lay there, bleeding, barely clinging to life, Elliot picked up his phone. He called 911, and with zero emotion he said, "I just killed someone, and I want to kill myself." The 911 operator immediately dispatched police. Within minutes, they arrived at Elliot's house. It was too late. Ashlyn didn't make it. When officers questioned Elliot, they asked what happened. His response? "We were on a Tinder date. We came back to my place, watched a movie, and then I woke up and killed her." Just like that. They asked, "So you attacked her, completely unprovoked?" And he just said, "Yeah." He was arrested on the spot, charged with first-degree murder, and eventually he pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to a minimum of 15 years in prison. So yeah, if you're on dating apps, be careful. You never really know who you're meeting. That's it for today's Monkey Business. Like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next wild story.